today we'll discuss the components of budget. In budget we have government receipts and government expenditure. We can classify our receipts and expenditure in two ways. One is revenue, on the basis of revenue, and on the basis of capital. So components of budget we can classify into two ways: revenue budget and capital budget. Revenue budget includes revenue receipts and revenue expenditure. All the receipts and expenditure which are of regular nature and recurring in nature, that is known as revenue receipts or revenue expenditure. It means these receipts or expenditure never affects the asset and liability of the government. Second is capital budget. Capital budget includes capital receipts and capital expenditure. These capital receipts and expenditure are those receipts and expenditure which will affect asset and liability of the government, and it is not of recurring nature. So let's discuss in detail all these. We can divide these four in two ways. One is budget receipts and second is budget expenditure. So budget receipt means all the receipts, revenue receipts and capital receipts. So budget receipts are estimated money received of the government from all sources during fiscal year. So under revenue receipts we have two receipts. One is revenue receipt and second is capital receipt. Let's discuss in these two receipts in detail. First is revenue receipt. So revenue receipts are those receipts which neither create any liability nor reduce the asset of the government, or we can say that when there is no effect on asset and liability of the government. So under revenue receipt there are two conditions. One, no increase in liability. Second, no decrease in the asset. These receipts are regular and recurring in nature. Let's explain these 2 points with example. No increase in liability. Revenue receipt never increase any kind of liability for the government. For example, tax. Tax is a receipt, but it is a revenue receipt, not a capital receipt. Why? Because when government receives taxes, it never creates any liability for the government. Second, no decrease in asset. There is no reduction in the asset of the government. For example, if government sells the shares of the government enterprises and receives money, then it is not considered as a revenue receipt. Why? Because it reduces the asset of the government. So there are two conditions. These two conditions are there which satisfy whether it is a revenue receipt or capital receipt. So if there is no increase in liability and no decrease in asset, then it is considered as a revenue receipt. And for this you can learn this shortcut, that is DIAL. No decrease in asset, no increase in liability. Clear? Now the sources of revenue receipt. We have two sources of revenue receipt. One is tax revenue, second is non-tax revenue. So we know that tax is the main source of the revenue receipt of the government. So under tax we will write the meaning of the tax. Tax is a compulsory payment made by public to the government without reference to any direct benefit in return. It means tax never create any kind of liability, direct liability for the government. So it has two main features. One, it is a compulsory payment. It means no one can refuse to pay it. Second, tax receipts are spent by the government for the common benefit of the public. Tax revenue can be further classified as direct tax and indirect taxes. Direct taxes which are directly imposed on the income and the property of the individual or the company, and it is directly paid to the government by public. So and second, it means the liability of tax cannot be shifted on the other person. And indirect taxes are the taxes which are not directly imposed on the income and the property of the government of the public, but it affects the income and the property of the individual or the company. So it is basically imposed on the goods and services. Example, GST. Okay, and under this we can shift the liability of the tax on the other person. Clear? And for direct tax, example is income tax and property tax. You may get the difference between these two also. Next is non-tax revenues. So non-tax revenue receipts are the receipts which are recurring in nature and other than tax revenue. And these are interest, profit, fees, license fees, fines, escheat, gift, grants, special assessment, forfeiture. All these are the other sources of the income of the government. First is interest. Government receive interest on the loans given by government to the state government, union government, or some private enterprises and general public. So this is considered as a revenue receipt. Second, profit and dividend. Government has its own for public sector undertakings like LIC, Indian Railways, etc. So the profits earned from these enterprises also considered as non-tax revenue. Next is fees. Fees is the amount which is charged by the government for providing services to the public. For example, court fees, registration fees, import fees, etc. License fees. So it is a payment charged by the government to grant permission for something. For example, vehicle license fees. Next is fines and penalties. When people does not follow some rules and regulations or laws, then in that case government impose some fines and penalties on the public. For example, fine for jumping red light. Next is escheat. Escheat is a claim of the government on the property of the person who dies without any will. It means they gifts and grants. Government receives gifts and grants from the foreign government, from the international organization. All these are the voluntary gifts in form of money. So at the time of national crisis such as war, flood, etc. Next is special assessment. Special assessment, you may get this point in 1 mark also. First of all, its meaning, it refers to the payment made by the owner to those property whose value has appreciated due to the development activities of the government. For example, if the value of the property near metro station has increased, so the part of development expenditure is recovered from the owners of such property. That is known as a special assessment. Next is forfeitures. When there is any kind of breach of act, then this kind of penalty is imposed by the court. Clear? Next is capital receipts. Capital receipts. Capital receipts are the receipts which fulfill these two conditions. It means the receipt which either creates liability or reduce asset of the government. And these receipts are not recurring in nature. So let's discuss these two conditions in detail. First is decrease in asset. For example, sale of share of the public enterprises. It is considered as a capital receipt. Why? Because with the sale of shares, share is the asset of the government. If you will sell the share, then in that case it will reduce the government asset. Clear? Second, increase in liability. For example, government borrowings. If government will borrow, then in that case it will create liability for the government. So it is considered as a capital receipt. Now the sources of capital receipts. There are three sources. One is borrowing, second is recovery of loan, and third is other receipt. First, borrowing. Borrowing are the funds raised by the government to meet its expenditure. So government can borrow from open market, from RBI, from foreign government, from national, international institutions, foreign government, etc. So all these borrowings are considered as a capital receipt. Why? Because it creates a liability for the government. Second, recovery of loan. So if government is able to recover the loan which is given by the government to the state government, union government, and any other institute, then in that case, if there is recovery of such loans, then it will reduce the asset of the government. So it is considered as a capital receipt. Third, other receipts. These include disinvestment and small savings. First is disinvestment. Disinvestment is the opposite of investment. It means selling of public sector share, that is PSU, public sector undertaking, which is held by the government. It will affect the asset of the government. It will reduce the asset of the government. So it is considered as a capital receipt. Other, small savings. Small savings means funds raised from the public in form of post office deposits, national savings certificates. All these are considered as a capital receipts because it will create the liability for the government. It is clear? So you may get difference between revenue receipt and capital receipt also. So we can differentiate on the basis of meaning, in which you will write the condition that there is no dial, there is dial. Second, nature, it is recurring in nature. Revenue receipts, capital receipts, they are not recurring in nature, or we can write they are irregular in nature. Third, future obligation. There is no future obligation to return the amount, but in capital receipt, if there is, like example, borrowing, there is a future obligation to return it back. Example, you can write the sources of revenue receipts like tax, non-tax revenues, and under capital receipt we have borrowing, disinvestment, recovery of loan, etc. Clear? Thank you.